we are at the middle of the month this month, so that means Criterion announced their new releases coming for, I believe it's February. Yes, for February of 2023. So let's go right into what was announced. I will do the 4K updates first. The first movie is Dazed and Confused. Dazed and Confused is an all-time classic movie. It's one of those movies that transcends the genre that it's in. Most people would look at Dazed and Confused and say, oh, it's a really good teen movie. But man, this movie is so much more. Dazed and Confused essentially brings you back to the feeling you had when you were in high school and what it was like. Even though it's set in a specific time, it still remains true to this day with my feelings towards high school and what it was like. And that takes a gifted writer and director to pull that off, to where no matter what time period it's based in, it still feels authentic to a person because they can see themselves in that. And that's the mark of a fantastic film, and that's Dazed Confused. So I already have it. I don't know if I want to spring for a 4K, but if you haven't had it, I would hold off. If you haven't watched it or haven't bought it, I'd hold off for that 4K. And yeah, I love Dazed and Confused. The other 4K update is the Three Colors trilogy by Krzysztof Kieslowski. This is the trilogy of films Blue, White, and Red they range from being fantastic to great. And my favorite of them is Red, followed by Blue, then White. And you don't have to watch them in order. You can watch them out if you want. But these are very good films, very beautiful looking films. Very adult. I'll say this, they're adult films. And I'm not talking adult as in, nudity and sex. I'm talking about a movie that respects your intelligence and respects the people who are watching it, that they can understand and invest in a movie that is emotionally complex. And that's all three of those movies. And my favorite's Red, but I know a lot of people prefer Blue, and I know some prefer White. But the Three Colors trilogy are fantastic movies. And I gotta get the Decalogue at some point, because I really am interested in that as I saw these three movies. So that's the Three Colors trilogy that's being put into 4K. I might spring for that, actually. I'm not sure, but we'll see. So the new releases that were announced, two films by Margarita Duras, which is Baxter Vera Baxter and India Song. I'm gonna be blunt. I'd never even heard of this director, and this is not a first. I did it last month too with It's Not a Burial, It's a Resurrection, and I will say the same thing that I said with that movie. The fact that I haven't heard this film excites me, because these films excites me, because if Criterion is putting it out, then there is a significance to it that maybe I should be interested in. And that's why I like Criterion, because they do put out interesting films that, even if I've never heard of them, I end up being fascinated by, that I would actually give it a shot to see how it is. The next movie is Hollywood Shuffle, directed by Robert Townsend. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen this film. Long time. And I don't think I would get when I saw it, I didn't get the nuances of the film, to be completely honest. I thought it was fine. But I was very young when I saw this. Like, I didn't get it. I will be blunt. I did not get it at all. And this was me at age 12, I think. So my brain wasn't that fully developed. Okay? But looking back, it is an interesting movie that I would love to rewatch. And this is also written by Keenan Ivory Wayans, which I did not realize. Yeah, I definitely want to rewatch this movie. Hopefully it goes on the Criterion channel, because I do want to give it another shot. Because I saw it very young, and it probably went over my head. So Hollywood Shuffle, directed by Robert Townsend. So that is an interesting pick. The final pick, which actually got me excited, was Romeo and Juliet, the Franco Zeffirelli version from the 70s. The best thing about this announcement is how much I heard people repeating the same way they saw this movie, which was in English class in high school and seeing tits for the first seeing tits in your high school. And most of you had like the English teacher who would cover the actress in that scene. And I didn't have that luxury. When I saw it, and I think it was senior year. Yeah, I saw it in senior year, and with my English teacher, and I think I remember the English teacher saying, you guys are old enough, so you're gonna see some nudity. It's not a big deal. Blah blah blah. Whatever." And there's that girl's tits. I'm like, I'm like, what? Why? This is awkward. Why are we doing this? Why? This is weird. I shouldn't be watching all. And this is what made me realize that I'm not comfortable watching nudity around other people. Because I did it with a bunch of classmates going, "Oh my God, what am I watching?" But other than that, the Franco Zeffirelli version of Romeo and Juliet is fantastic. It's got a great score. The cinematography is great. I think those both won Oscars that year. But it's a really good version of Romeo and Juliet, which I will want. I want that version. So, yeah. So I can watch that scene without the embarrassment of being around a bunch of other people my age watching the same exact scene. Man, was that awkward. But yeah, it was funny to hear other people's memories being almost exactly the same when it came to that movie. So yeah, the announcements were Dazed and Confused, 3 Colors Trilogy going to 4K, 2 films by Margarita Duras, Hollywood Shuffle, and Romeo and Juliet. So that will be interesting. Those will be available in February.